Hi Cancer, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly horoscope for the month of October. This is a really intense time. We are in Mars retrograde. Mars officially retrograded on September 9th at 28 degrees of the cardinal fire sign of Aries, and it stations direct on November 13th at 15 degrees of Aries. Mars is what gives us our drive to get things done. It's what gives us passion, and it's what gives us courage. And Mars rules your house of career and life goals. And Mars only retrogrades once every 2 years. And the last time it retrograded in the sign of Aries itself was in 1988 and 1941. So obviously it doesn't happen very frequently. And for you, it's really reviewing your goals professionally, but also your life goals. What do you want to achieve in the next few years? We've been dealing with this historical year of Capricorn lockdown. Capricorn is the sign of limitations and restrictions, and we've all been operating under these constraints. And you are a cardinal water sign. You're very sensitive and nurturing, but cardinal signs are the signs that make things happen and catalyze things. And Capricorn is your opposite sign, and it rules your house of relationships. And we've had this uncharted time of Saturn and Pluto, the two malefics of the zodiac. Saturn is Lord Karma, and Pluto is the planet of power and transformation and death and rebirth. And the two met up in the fall of 82 and the spring of 1983. But they hadn't met up in the sign of Capricorn for over 500 years. And you're experiencing all of this death and rebirth, loss and new beginnings in your house of relationships. And all of these planets in Capricorn have been opposing your sign. So that will be a turning point that will bring endings and beginnings. Also, how you partner with yourself, how you're rising above, and how you achieve things in the world's view. And with Mars retrograde, this is a big time to review your goals. And we begin the month on October 1st with a full moon that occurs at 9 degrees of the cardinal fire sign of Aries. That brings a culmination and fruition. It's conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, so it's good for doing healing work. It does fall in your house of career, so maybe something you've been working on this year that brings completion. Maybe you find out something more about a project that you need to know. Then we have on the 2nd of October, Venus exits the sign of Leo and enters the sign of Virgo, which is your house of communication, local travel, local community, marketing, sales. It's excellent for all forms of marketing yourself, for getting involved in your local community, for meeting people locally, for interviewing, for selling yourself, for writing, for communication of all forms. Very good for creative thinking. And on the 4th of October is when we're building up to this anyway, and have been for a while, Pluto stations direct at the world axis. And that's a huge deal. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. It's the planet of power. And it's the key player of the year aside from Saturn. And Pluto triggers the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that changed the world and changed the decade on January 12th, when Saturn and Pluto met up at 22 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto is triggering that point. It's stationing direct at that. That impacts every one of us. It impacts people on the world stage. You can expect big world events. You can expect power struggles, people being more combative and definitely more triggered. Find your tools to nurture yourself, to nurture your loved ones, to try to find a good use of the energy to review your career goals. Again, focus on what you want to achieve. People will be triggered, that we know. Then we have on the 10th of October, on the 8th of October, Mars gets to 22 degrees of Aries in your house of career, and it triggers the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. And then the following day, on the 9th of October, Mars makes an exact square to Pluto in your house of relationships. That can again be some endings, breakups, maybe there are changes at the workplace. There could be big fights and arguments. Hopefully you're going, or all of us are going, for the transformational part of Mars and Pluto. Pluto is the higher octave of Mars. The goal is transformation, but it's challenging to get there, and realistically we're going to all be struggling with that with Mars retrograde. And so that is happening. And then on the 10th of October, Venus, which is transiting in your house of communication, forms a beautiful trine to Uranus, the planet of innovation and ingenuity, in the sign of Taurus. And that's a really nice energy for you, for creative thinking, for just for networking with others, and that's a nice day to target. And then on the 11th of October, we've got the Sun in Libra, squaring Jupiter in Capricorn, and the Sun is in your house of home and family, and it's transiting there until October 22nd, when it enters your house of romance and creativity. So from October 22nd until November 21st, that's a good time for targeting, romantic affairs and creative projects. But until then, we've got the Sun square Jupiter, and the Sun in your house of home and family. So maybe you're really busy. Jupiter is in your house of relationships, so maybe a lot going on with others. And then on the, let's see here, on the 12th of October, we have a really beautiful energy. Jupiter in Capricorn forms what's known as a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. And in ancient astrology, Jupiter ruled the sign of Pisces. And they both deal with manifesting and with having something to believe in, with faith, and I think with optimism in a sense. And so that's a really good day for targeting manifesting. Jupiter is transiting in your house of relationships, and Neptune is transiting in your house of hope and the house of manifesting and higher education and learning. So that's an excellent day for creative projects, journaling, doing your manifesting work. On the 13th of October, transiting Mercury will station retrograde at 11 degrees of Scorpio, and it's in your house of romance and creativity. So you probably will find some old boyfriends or old girlfriends resurface in this fall season as well. Mercury is directly setting off where Venus retrograded in the fall of 2018. In 2018, Venus originally stationed retrograde on October 5th at 10 degrees and 50 minutes of Scorpio, and it's stationed direct on November 17th at 25 degrees of Libra. In this case, Mercury is retrograding in your house of love affairs at 11 degrees of Scorpio, and it stations direct in your house of home, family, and your emotional foundation on November 3rd at 25 degrees of Libra. So it could set off themes regarding old relationships, maybe ones you're in now that you're rethinking, maybe healing, hopefully, but that's going to be a direction. You can expect some miscommunication, definitely hearing from people from the past, but we're going to have Mars and Mercury retrograde at the same time for a while, so both personal planets, so that'll be a big deal. And then we have on the 16th of October a new moon that takes place at 23 degrees of Libra. And this new moon takes place in your house of home and family. It's the Cancer house in astrology. So it's really about setting intentions of what gives you comfort, what fulfills you and makes you happy. This new moon, it's always a good time for setting intentions, do the law of abundance, and things you want to manifest, but it is opposing Mars, which is transiting in your house of career, and Eris, the goddess of discord, which is working in tandem with Mars rather. So there is a fiery component to this new moon, but new moons are always a good time of setting new intentions, and it is a cardinal new moon. It is setting off Pluto in the sky too, so it's going to be intense. It's a T-square with the moon, the sun, and Mars in Aries. And then we have on the 18th of October, the sun in Libra in your house of home and family squares Saturn in the sky, Saturn in your house of relationships. That can be a bit challenging with partnerships. And that day, transiting Venus opposes Neptune. So Venus in your house of communication opposes Neptune. So maybe some deception gets uncovered. And then we have on the 22nd of October, the sun enters your house of romance and creativity. It enters the sign of Scorpio, where it'll be until November 21st. And October 27th, transiting Mercury has been in Scorpio. We know it's already retrograde. And then it re-enters the sign of Libra on October 27th. It does station direct on November 3rd. That same day, Venus, the planet of love and beauty and money, exits the sign of Virgo and enters the sign of Libra, where it loves to be. It rules the sign of Libra, and it'll be transiting there until November 21st, giving beauty to your house of home and family. Good again for seeking comfort in the home, for fixing up your place. And then on the last day of the month, on Halloween, of course, we have a full moon that takes place at 8 degrees of Taurus, and it's conjunct Uranus, the planet of innovation and chaos. And this falls in your house of friends and groups. So expect the unexpected. Could be an exciting time on Halloween. Maybe you find out some information about some friends that you didn't know about, or about a friend, or maybe you meet a friend unexpectedly. Maybe you go to a party unexpectedly. But it's going to be an intense month, that we know. And I wish you a lot of luck in this journey. Try to find ways to practice self-care, manifesting, meditating, getting rest, anything that helps you, exercising. So good luck and take care. Thank you.